to the video series of Science 2nd for class 10, and today we are going to start the new chapter, that is cell biology and biotechnology. Cell biology or cytology. What do we study in this cytology or cell biology? It is the division of the cells, means about the many aspects about the cell. Then what is the use of this cell biology? Of course, it's very useful for the human being because it has got various changes. We can say revolutionary changes in the field of health of the human being or the organisms, other organisms as well as plants. And the research is going on the cell biology or the cells, so that the life of human can be made better. It can be protected from the diseases. Life of the plant can be protected from the diseases. So like this way the research is going on in the various institutes. Mainly the research is going on in the institutes like we are calling it as research institutes which are related to the cell study, and they are at Pune and Bangalore. Now let's start with the study of the cells. As you are knowing, our body is consist of somatic cells, and germ cells are also there in the reproductive organs. Now here special type of the cells we are going to study which can multiply, single type of cells which can multiply to form the different kind of cells. Different kind of cells will form different kind of tissues. Different kind of tissues will form different kind of organs. So here we are going to study the special type of cells, that is stem cells. Let me give you some examples of stem cells. The stem cells play an important role in the wound healing of our body. Second thing is there when, as you have studied about the zygote, when zygote is formed, it is formed by the union of male and female gametes. So it's a single cell. This single cell, when it multiplies itself, then it becomes a mass of cells before it forms any tissues or organs. So this mass of cells is nothing but the mass of stem cells, and these cells have the capacity to differentiate themselves or to divide themselves to carry out different functions. So it will be getting divided into different type of cells. These are called stem cells. Now let's see what are the sources of stem cells. The sources of stem cell is one of the source we have seen just now, that is blastocyst. The next is there, that is the umbilical cord. Umbilical cord by which the fetus is joined to the mother's womb by this umbilical cord. Then next one is there, that is red bone marrow, adipose connective tissue, and then blood cells are also the source of stem cells. Now the stem cells from any out of this part is taken out and it is stored in the sterile vials. These sterile vials are preserved in liquid nitrogen, and the temperature is at negative 135 degrees Celsius to negative 190 degrees Celsius. And whenever we want to use it, we can use it for differentiating into for the different type of cells and different type of tissues. The research in the stem cells has carried out the fundamental changes in the medical science. Now depending upon the type of the cells or depending on the sources, they are of two types. One is embryonic stem cells and the other is adult cell. So embryonic cells, as I told you, embryonic stem cells, as I told you, when the zygote is formed, after that it starts to multiply into many cells. So the mass of cell, that is blastocyst, before it get differentiated into certain type of cells or tissues, means before the organs start to grow, that is the 14th day after conception, the 5th or 7th day is better to take out these stem cells from the blastocyst, and then they can be preserved and can be used for the study or research, or it can be used for the growth of the new tissues and organ. Cell differentiation starts from 14th day of conception. So Okay, which cells are formed? The cells like osteocytes means bone cells are formed. Then neurons, brain cells are formed. Then hepatocytes, liver cells are formed. So before this differentiation, the stem cells are collected from blastocyst and they can be used for the proper function. Embryonic cells before the differentiation are called as embryonic stem cells, and these stem cells have the capacity to self multiply, and these are the parent cells of all the human cells which are present in our body. So this property is called as pluripotency. This property is pluripotency. And 220 type of different cells which are formed in our body, they are formed by the single type of stem cells. And it's very wonderful to know that if these cells are taken out from the blastocyst before 14th day, then they can be used by giving the biochemical stimulus. They can be converted to desired type of the cells, desired type of tissues or organs. The second type of stem cell is adult cells, means the stem cells can be obtained from the body of the adult. That is, the parts like red bone marrow, then blood cells are there, or the connective tissues are there, adipose connective tissues, or from the cord blood immediately after the birth of a baby. These are some of the organs from which the stem cells can be obtained. So these stem cells are adult stem cells. Let's see the uses of stem cells. First one is the regenerative therapy. Regenerative therapy is the cell therapy in which is used in some of the diseases where cells get damaged. So to generate the new cells, this cell therapy can be used with the help of stem cells. For example, the diseases like diabetes is there, myocardial infarction is there, or the Alzheimer's disease or Parkinson's disease. Then next one is there, that is to produce blood cells in the diseases like anemia, leukemia, or thalassemia. Then next main use of the stem cell is there, that is organ transplantation. The various organs can be transplanted from one body to the other body. Some of the part of the organs can be transplanted from one body to another body with the help of these stem cells, and therefore these stem cells are very useful. Various organs in the human body, they become functionless or less efficient or totally get damaged due to some of the reasons like accidents or due to aging, or some diseases are there. Because of this also the life of such a person becomes very very difficult to live. So if they get that damaged organ, or the organ whose efficiency has become less, if such an organ is given to that person, then the life can be made better. So here in the medical science, for organ transplantation, the use of stem cell is very very important. Human body after the death it is disposed of either by burning or by burying in the soil. But due to the research in the medical science regarding the stem cells, if we take out the different useful parts, they are efficient or they carry out the function after the death also for certain time. So within that time, if these body parts are taken out of the dead body and if they are transplanted in the other person's body who needs those parts, then that is called organ transplantation after death or posthumous organ transplantation. The donation of the organs like liver, eyes are there. These organs can be donated after the death only. So it is called posthumous donation. Life of the people can be saved after this. The person when he is alive can give permission for this posthumous donation. Now here, before the transplantation, the recipient and the donor, both of their medical tests are done, and then various factors related to this transplantation are checked, and then only this organ transplantation is done. Let's see which organs can be transplanted. See the figure. Eyes, lungs, liver, bone, skin, kidney, pancreas, heart or heart valves. This can be transplanted from donor to the recipient patient. Let's start with the second part or the half of the part of this chapter, that is biotechnology. You have already studied about the biotechnology. And biotechnology, it is the technology where these living cells are used. Living molecules of the body are used so that the change in the human health can be done. Now there are different uses of this biotechnology, different researches are also going on. Now the branches of the science are like cytology, that is the cell biology, then genetic engineering is there, and the molecular biology. These have the vast research regarding the cells. So in biotechnology, mainly it is very useful for the agriculture and the medical science or pharmaceutical science, where in agriculture the yield of the product or the quality of the product is increased due to biotechnology. Variety of the seeds, variety of the plants or variety of the food crops, cash crops, they are available so that the income of a farmer can be increased by using less expense. Next one is there in the medical science. In pharmaceutical, this use of biotechnology is very, very important for the production of various medicines, various vitamins, various hormones, various vaccines. This biotechnology is used. So mainly two main areas are there where biotechnology is used more. One is the agriculture, second is the medical science or pharmaceutical science. But other than this also some of the uses are there or main areas of this biotechnology is there. Some of these you have studied in the previous chapter, 7th chapter, and some of these you have studied in the previous class. Let's see them. So first one is there. You have studied in the previous chapter, that is for the yogurt production, microbes are used. Biotechnology. It is the biotechnology. Second one is there, use of productivity of the cells, that is the production of the antibodies and vitamins or vaccines, etc. are done with the help of this biotechnology. Then use of various biomolecules like DNA, proteins, that can be done for the human welfare. Next one is there, that is development of plants, animals and the products of desired quality can be obtained by use of biotechnology. The next one is there, that is the use of the genetic science that can be done with the help of biotechnology, that is genetic engineering. The changes in the genes can be made so that the life of the human can be made better. Use of biotechnology can be the genetic or non-genetic. Non-genetic, for example, tissue culture can be is one of the example of non-genetic biotechnology, where the cells are used from one plant to get the better yield and to produce the new variety of the plants. Let's see the commercial applications of biotechnology. Commercial applications means for the crops which are cash crops or which gives more economics. So here the uses are there. First use we can see crop biotechnology. In the crop biotechnology, various techniques are there. First we can see here, that is hybrid seeds. Hybrid seeds are produced by the recombination of genes of two different variety of the plants. So the good quality of the fruits or good quality of the grains is obtained by these hybrid seeds. Second is the genetically modified crops. These are the disease resistant plants. The variety are their example BT cotton, BT brinjal and many other varieties are also available. Now let's understand here what is the meaning of BT. BT means Bacterium thuringiensis, and this bacteria, it produces the toxic substance which do not allow the balls of the cotton to grow. So it is harmful for the cotton. Next one is that cotton is the commercial crop. The main part of this cotton is ball of the cotton and leaves are there. So here the gene from this bacteria is integrated. The gene which produces the toxic substance is integrated with the genes of cotton. Means now cotton plant will be able to produce that gene. So suppose any bollworms are coming on this cotton plant to eat its leaves or balls, then the plant is producing that toxic substance, and because of that eating of the leaves or some part of the balls, the bollworms will be died. Simply the technique of this biotechnology is used for certain varieties of the crops. Then golden rice is one of the thing. Golden rice is nothing but the quantity of the vitamin A or beta carotene is increased in the normal rice, and it is called golden rice. Golden rice has the more quantity of the vitamin A. So it is called golden rice, and it can be done with the help of biotechnology. Then next see herbicide tolerating plants. This is also widely used by the farmers. Herbicide tolerating plants means when herbicides are used, there is a risk of dying, or there is a risk of damaging the main crop in the field also along with the herbs. But nowadays such a herbicides are available. If those herbicides will sprinkle in the or if we spray it in the field, then our crop, the main crop, will not have any effect due to that, but the herbs will become dry or the weeds will become dry. So that is the such a plants or such a crops are grown which will have the quality, they will tolerate the herbicide. Then next use of this is their biofertilizers. Biofertilizers instead of chemical fertilizers are used for increasing the yield of the crop. Then the second one we'll see, that is animal husbandry. In animal husbandry, two main methods, that is artificial insemination and embryo transfer, are used, where it gives us the quality as well as quantity of the product, animal product. Like milk is there, meat or eggs are there, or wool is there. Even the more stronger animals also can be obtained by this animal husbandry. Some of the uses for the human welfare we'll see in the next video. Till that, you study whatever we have learnt in today's video.